All right, so I'm going to be your chief financial officer for the day and tell you that your Bionicle collection is now gone. Poof, look behind you, it's not there anymore. Instead, you have to start your Bionicle collection brand new today, but with a challenge. You can only choose one color family. I call this the monochrome challenge, I guess. Maybe listing it as a challenge isn't the best idea because I am going to give you the answer right here. All right, so this video is actually kind of built on a premise that I've thought about in the past. If I ever had to restart my Bionicle collection, and I have 3 times, I've had my collection stolen. That's a different story. We're going to get into that in a future video, but the point still stands. If I was going to take my money and spend it wisely, a thing I don't know how to do, what would I spend it on? Well, I could do a couple things. I could try to recollect all of the Bionicle sets that I currently have, but there are some Bionicle sets I don't care to own. There are some that are inordinately expensive, way more expensive now than when I first got them. And there are some sets that, like, honestly, I just don't care to have. They're clones of other sets. So instead of that, I'm somebody who likes to build a lot myself, build my own custom designs. So why do I need all these colors back here, right? So here is what my challenge would entail. Essentially choosing a color from Bionicle's history, taking the color and its tangential colors, right? And then using that to develop a new collection. It took me a little bit of time researching, studying, looking at my collection, and then after a couple of seconds, I realized that the answer is pretty obvious. Blue. Now, here's the thing. There are a lot of pieces from Bionicle that come in dark blue, medium blue, Mata blue, and there's a lot more colors out there from Lego outside of just those 3. I'm just considering those 3 for this video, but you've got light blue, you've got royal blue, you've got bright light blue, you've got medium as your, dark as your, there's so much, light aqua, like, it's a big color family, and many of these colors are still in production today. Not all, for sure. Maybe the second closest color to this would be the red color family, and I think that one is a little bit harder to justify, if only because it's a little less monotone. What do I mean by that? Well, the equivalent of red to this idea would be dark red, mata red, and orange, right? Well, orange isn't really a lighter shade of red, rather it is a blend between 2 primaries, right? You have red, you have orange, you have yellow, you get orange. But you could just as easily remove the dark red from this challenge and replace it with orange, because dark red is actually where things get difficult. Dark blue, on the other hand, has a lot of Technic support specifically. Dark red does not. There are only a handful, maybe 4 total sets from all of Lego that include, well, there's more than that, but only a handful more, that include dark red Technic pieces specifically. You want a 3-length Technic lift arm, you're going to have to buy Rahaga Norik. You want the 9-length Technic lift arm, you're either getting Skirmix up there or you're shelling out a bunch of money for the Titanic set. If you want a 15-length lift arm in dark red, you're going to have to wait till June or August and spend $150 on the Source Dragon. I want the set, but that's a lot of money, right? I'm glad, though, at the very least, we're seeing some Technic support for dark red now, but blue has been there. Dark blue has had Technic sets from all the way back in 2005 with Kreka over here. But even into Technic brand itself, there have been several sets that have come out. Recently, a cement mixer that came out that had some, a little micro car vehicle that was like a $10 set that came out with some dark blue pieces. So all lovely stuff, all a lot of stuff to give us support for this beautiful color, by the way. But we also still have a lot of support from Mata blue, and we have a lot of support for medium blue. And in this case here, these feel like they're monochromatic, right? Because medium blue is a lighter shade of Mata blue. Dark blue is a darker shade of blue. So again, you're still within the same color family. You're not really stretching the definition of monochrome here, in my opinion. But you've got a lot more pieces that are available in these colors as well. Notably, you've got 2 of the Vaki or Matoran torsos. You also have 2 in the red color family. I think red is still a good second choice here, don't get me wrong. You got this piece in blue, but you do also have it in orange, maybe red too, I honestly cannot remember. You've also got pieces like this in not only Mata blue, but also medium blue. You do get it in red, you do get it in orange, but where the blue ekes out a win this time around is pearl blue, because we don't have to forget that pearl blue is also a color that exists within this monotone sort of palette. And yeah, you've got reddish gold too, or maybe flat gold if you want to consider that a shade of red. I wouldn't, but you know, it's up to you, right? The point stands though that there is a lot here that appears in red that either also appears in blue or doesn't appear in red but does still appear in blue. And all of these blue colors still appear in Technic. Dark red still has yet to appear in Technic itself. But we just got dark blue sets. We just got light blue, medium blue sets. The Megalodon whatever set, which had a lot of really fantastic pieces in it, mind you, too. And of course, Mata blue is still a very popular color in Technic. The Cinna just came out a couple of years ago. So I mean, like, there's a lot. There's a lot. We have plenty to work with here, and I'm very thankful for that. There are also some more obscure pieces, like this one right here, which looks like a small panel on first glance, but it's got a smaller hole in it. I only own one of these for some reason, just this one, not the opposite side of it. Very weird. But this one obviously has a sticker. However, this is a smaller hole than you would typically see on a piece like this. It only appears in blue and red, so you still get access to it in both colors. But then obviously you have, well, the topic of my most recent video, this piece right here, only appears in blue. So sometimes you get access to some pieces that only exist in singular colors. You've got, you know, this piece in red, for example. So definitely some stuff to work with. Point being, very interesting, sort of fun challenge, if nothing else, because in part, it can be a thought experiment. And obviously, you know, if I was building with these colors, these aren't the only colors I would invest in. I would, of course, go out of my way to buy like old dark gray, dark bluish gray, light bluish gray, black, neutral colors for this as well to beef up my collection. But thankfully, those are all extremely common colors. So those are very easy colors to work with maybe the exception of the older dark gray and older light gray, since they haven't existed since 2003. And even with blues, you still get blue pins. So they don't even look as bad with this type of monotone challenge, right? With red, obviously those blue pins are going to stand out a bit more. I think tan complements blue really well. It also complements red really well, so that's not an issue. And you've obviously got light gray with older pins. You've got black with older pins. You got both shades of dark gray with some pin axles. You've got yellow. You've got white with some axles, some pins, and again, red with some axles as well. So plenty of support in both these directions, which makes me think that these are both the best options for you if you want to build with these colors. Now, if you're somebody that likes to build with modern Bionicle, then red may be the better option. It's kind of hard to say still, but if only because there are only a handful of sets from Bionicle's history that use Mata Blue after like 2006, right? You have Barracks back there, you have Terex directly behind him, but you also obviously have a car, right? You have Hero Factory 1.0 sets which appear in blue and in red. You have Hero Factory's CCBS era. So like, there are definitely options here, for sure, no doubt. But at the very least, you have some support, and it really just depends on which era from Bionicle you want to build in, because you have access to so many weird, obscure pieces from both of these color families that I think it's really hard to choose any other set of colors. But it's not to say you can't do it. I will definitely say there is definitely novelty to experimenting with colors that have very little Technic support. A lot of people sort of harp on the fact that brown was removed from Bionicle basically after 2006, right? With Avok being the last set. Obviously, we got a nod to brown again with Zesk, with Vorox, and with the Thornata sets at the very least, which is good. It gave us a lot of pieces in those colors again. We also got some brown from another CCBS Star Wars set, the, I can't think of the name right now, it's the vehicle. Point being, there's definitely some support for colors like that, but that can be part of the charm for colors like that. Even like olive green, for example, appears in one Technic set and appears in like one other Chima set or something, but it can be really fun to work with them because of how restrictive they are. Magenta is another color like this. The newer neon yellow, a color that I don't even have yet in my collection. The sand blue. So like, there are definitely a lot of fun colors that have very little Technic support, and that's part of their charm. So I would encourage you to go out of your way and try to research a topic like this. It could be a lot of fun just to look into. And yeah, I basically gave you like the winning answer, the winning solution to this, but why not change up the rules a bit? Maybe separate it out to just one color, not a monotone family, but only Mata Blue or only Mata Green, and just see like which colors exist with the most pieces or the least pieces. Because again, like I said, many people criticize brown for not showing up. But you know what other color disappeared way earlier than Mata Brown, or brown in general, I guess? Mata Green. Mata Green disappeared from Bionicle in 2003, and never appeared again in Bionicle. Not even in Generation 2. And that's crazy to me. So that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Helps the video out, obviously. And it gets us that much closer to 4,000 subs, I guess. And on top of that, you can check out the Discord, Instagram, and Patreon, all of which are linked in the description below. And before I end it, I might as well show off this little custom piece that I designed. So not this one right here. I don't know why I said designed. I died. This one. Pearl purple, which I love. It's like a lavender kind of color. It's very fancy, and I quite like it. So, all right. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.